What's going on? It's Donald Washington. I'm your host. I'm going to bring you guys to Javon Clark. He had a viral video that touched 7.8 million viewers, man. And the video is amazing. It touched so many. What's going on, Javon?
How you doing, brother? I'm glad you got me on your show, man.
Absolutely, bro. I want to bring you on. I'm going to bring you guys Javon's video, man. And I want to bring his perspective of the content of the video, because the content of the video is about unity and something that in the black community we rarely see. This is my life in the shot.
Say some shit to y'all that I seen yesterday that made me smile, but it hurt me to my heart. There's a house next door to me that's been abandoned, and the yard, the grass high as hell and everything. There's a couple of abandoned cars out there beside the house. Well, yesterday I get off work about 7 o'clock. A Mexican guy pulled up. He said, "These your cars?" I said, "No." He said, "I just bought this house, man." I said, "All right, that's what's up." He was like, "You know whose cars these is?" He said, "No." He said, "Well, I bought the house, not the cars." Okay, I'm like, cool. I'm thinking he just coming to look at the house. I go back in the house, do a little straighten up. I swear to God, I walk back at the house. Now I'm getting off about 7:20. It's fucking 9 Mexican trucks just pull up. They got fucking beer, lights, and shit, right? So I'm like, what y'all finna do? He said, "We finna fix this house." I said, "What kind of crew you got working after 7 o'clock? He said, "These my friends." The fucking house is fixed this morning. They went in there and drywalled that fucking house. Wow. I just left out of there. It was a fucking abandoned house. That bitch looked new this morning. Whew. It was an abandoned fucking house, and it looked new this morning. It's an old African proverb: many hands make light work. I just don't think they're better than us. I just think we won't do nothing together. Wow. You're not hearing what the fuck I'm saying. It was an abandoned house yesterday at 7:15. That bitch is new this morning. He bought a tax lien house. I can't wait to see what they do. I can't wait to see, is one family gonna live in there? Is they gonna, I'm gonna get to know the motherfuckers.
Man, bro, that's some story, man. Tell me about that video, man.
Well, man, basically, I had started a little plate business selling plates out of my house, and I started renting a little trap house in a little neighborhood close to the university because it was more plates to be sold. And some Mexicans bought a abandoned house, you know, and like I said, I had came to work the next morning and the house was remodeled, and I saw them and they were drunk and they were laughing, playing music, and he asked me to come in, and I looked at the house and the house was brand new. So it bothered me so bad, man, that I went and sat in the van. I was like, yo, I'm gonna make a video. When I started making the video, I didn't realize I was gonna start crying, but I kept making the video. And after I finished making the video, I was about to delete it because I was like, you know, I'm a 6'6" guy, 250 pounds. I'm sitting there crying about a Mexicans building a house. And someone was like, nah, just upload it. Be honest. And I uploaded it, man, and it was crazy because it went viral so fast. My phone battery started dying instantly from Facebook notifications. And, you know, I got a lot of following behind it, man. And it's just sad that those men, friends, drank beer together and remodeled a house overnight. Like, they remodeled it, landscaped it and everything. And I just was like, I was feeling so dejected. I was jealous of them, but I was angry at us at the same time. So that's where the emotion came from.
Yeah, real talk, man, because we want to change our situation so bad, and every day and so long have we been trying to get out our situation economically, socially, and all it takes is unity. And that's it. And that's something we don't have, that dedication. We would have charged each other $10,000 to even come and look at a house, to even just to drywall. We would have never done that for each other. And to see that, it's hard. That's why it touched so many people, man. And that's why that video went viral like it did, because it's sad that we don't come together as a people. We could literally change our situation overnight. Literally.
You know what, brother? Some of it is how American society has changed the way we view coming up and building community. You know, at one time, I'm a product of growing up in a house. I lived with my grandmother and grandfather, and some uncles still stayed there, and some aunts still there, and everybody had land, and we farmed it. So, you know, it's a situation where now, you know, with housing and HUD, black people, we started to want our own space. You know, I can't wait to get out of my mama's house. You know, we put each other out when we turn 18. So a lot of what they do, they learn from us, because when I asked the guy, like, how do y'all stick together so much? He said, we learned that from black people, you know, and we laughed at Mexicans. You know, they live in 10 in a house and 10 to a car, going work together. We laughed at them, but that's how they do what they do, brother.
Yeah, and that's why, you know what, bro, that's why I'm against welfare, so to speak, because with welfare, what it's doing is it's paying for bad behavior. And I talk about this on my show all the time. I also filmed the Chicago Way documentary. And one of the things I talk about is welfare. What does welfare do? If you go to Jamaica, every one of them got 30 hustles. They'll sell you the shirt off their back. They selling plates. They selling everything that they can. They'll sell you. And what are we doing? Nothing. None of that. We have no businesses. And we haven't understand economic development, that you must patronize the businesses in your own community. And then back in segregation, we were forced to. We wasn't able to go spend 98% of our money outside our community. And that's why I have no pity on us, because when it comes down to Black Friday, we out buying 30 flat screen TVs. And we renting our house. And we don't have nothing to pass our shit, no businesses, none of that, bro.
And, you know, part of it too, brother, is we don't pass down the skills, you know, with the fatherlessness in the black community. You know, back in the day, the schools taught auto mechanics and carpentry and HVAC and stuff like that. Now that they've taken those trades out of the schools, we don't have fathers and grandfathers and uncles that are passing down these skills. So I got plenty homies. I got homies that'll smoke with me, drink with me, party with me, spend money with me at the strip club, but they don't know how to do anything affiliated with work. And it's sad. You know, I got homies that could do that. It's not like we don't have friends that would help us, but they just don't lack the skills, you know. And everybody say we don't have unity, man, but I beg to differ, because, you know, when the new Jordans drop, we all up at the same time, we standing online at the same time, and everybody got $200 in their pocket. So we have the unity, we have the finances, and we have the wherewithal to do what we need to do. It's just that we don't focus on the right subjects at times.
Yeah, bro, and you know what, man? This is, hey, I'm almost completely against welfare, bro. And because at the end of the day, man, most of the issues we face, none of these children are growing up with fathers. None of them. We talking 73 to 90% of them will not have a father, man. And we still out buying cars we can't afford, shoes we cannot afford. Nobody else does this. Everybody else saves every dollar they can. They ain't worried about looking flashy. They ain't worried about what somebody else thinks about them. We are the only people that want to be flashy. We the only ones that want everybody to look at us and look at this expensive car we can't afford, and we still renting our houses. Then at the end of the day, we crying about our situation, about how we last economically.
We have to hold ourselves accountable in our own community as far as the unity economics, and as far as morals in our community. You know, we have communities, we have projects, we have Section 8 housing, we have housing developments where, you know, the going narrative is among the black community is the government subsidized the black female's income with food stamps and welfare, and it ran the black man out of the home. And I can understand that narrative, but you know, I live around projects and urban housing, and they full of men. You know, if these places are for women and children, they should be the safest places in America. But these very same places that are supposedly for women and children are filled and riddled with drugs, violence, and crime. So we have to hold ourselves accountable for even the own violence that we see in our own communities.
That's one thing that I talk about on this channel is accountability. A lot of people don't want to talk about that. A lot of people want to dodge that. And I was talking to a lady, man, and you know, and I was telling her about, you know, just our communities, what needs to be solutions. So many times do we see documentaries that talk about the problem. So many times do we talk about all we do is complain about the problem. When are we going to talk solutions? Also, one thing that I say, she was an older sister. She had to be about 55, 60 years old. And the first thing she said is, oh, do you know what they did to us 100 years ago? And I'm like, look here, I want to talk about the solution. When I teach my daughter, I teach her the future. Don't get me wrong, we must teach the past, our Marcus Garvey's, Malcolm X, something the schools would never teach our children. We must teach our children ourselves and stop begging everybody else to do everything for us. I see brothers downtown begging, please give us jobs, instead of go to the community, create your own jobs.
You know, part of it, man, is in our community, we are separated so much so where the middle class sees the poor as something different and the poor sees the middle class as something different. So like you said, at one time, the poor and the middle class had to unite because no one could go in the white community and shop. No one could go to the good schools. So no matter if you were middle class or poor, you kind of knew you were on the same level. Now we have situations where we can act like we got something, and we have situations where the poor can act like they have something. So what we don't see is how much we need each other. The finances that we need, we have in the black community. Like, for example, statistics show that we spent $9 million last year buying Hennessy. You see what I'm saying? Black people spent $9 million buying Hennessy. So it's a situation where we have the money in our communities. If black communities were so poor, why are Arabs, Jews, Muslims, and Asians setting up shop in the black community? So we are poor. We just don't know what to do with our money. Now, one of my solutions, I say, that's just me dreaming out loud. We are oppressed and depressed people. And you cannot tell a man or a woman what to do with their money. So I don't tell people don't buy Jordans, don't buy weed, don't buy makeup, don't buy cars, don't buy jewelry. I tell people, hey, give $1 to the Black Fund. Give $1. Support your own community in some way, form, or fashion. You understand what I'm saying? We got 36 million black people in America who are going to shop and floss the way we want to floss. We have a history of flossing. But if everyone gave $1 to the movement, it wouldn't be so much so like a church where we worried about who doing what with the money. Historically, I mean, you look at one of the greatest civilizations ever in Africa, Egypt. You know, they fell from flossing. Instead of having an army and being more concerned about protecting its borders, they were more concerned about building statues and drawing on the walls and leaving a legacy. And that's kind of what we're doing now.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. Absolutely, man. And so that's why you know, at the end of the day, I say I have no sympathy for us, man. But you know what? Once somebody has the wrong message, you will see the society and the media push them out in the forefront. But then the people who saying, no, do for yourself, they going to silence them. I used to follow this group called New Era Chicago as a videographer. The protesters who was begging the mayor, the governor for jobs, do you know that they would help them protest, was set up for them? Here you go protest, go beg, go beg. But New Era Chicago said, man, forget begging. We're going to go to the worst communities in Chicago, We're going to knock on these doors. We're going to clean up the neighborhood. We're going to tell everybody to support your community. Stop the violence. Bro, they had at one point like 15 cop cars, 2 paddy wagons. Let me tell you something. If you want to see a bunch of police officers, FBI, talk unity and go into these communities and knock on doors, I would guarantee. They had a special investigation unit for New Era Chicago and still do, because they were cleaning up the neighborhood trying to stop the violence. In fact, there was a gang war in Chicago on the east side. I was filming, 7 people killed. I was filming outside the liquor store that 7 people got killed at. It was a gang war. It was like a 3 blocks, 7 people got killed all in 24 hours. Bro, New Era Chicago were marching on the west side of Chicago. Do you know they had 60 cop cars for New Era Chicago and 1 cop car for the gang war on the east side where I was?
Brother, it's so sad because, like you said, you know, the police and the powers that be, crime is a function in this country. They need, every time a crime is committed, several checks are being written. I mean, down to a seatbelt violation.
Bro, go ahead, bro.
If you don't have your seatbelt on, there's a seatbelt fine. You have to go to court. There's a court call. So when a young man is arrested, a young black man is arrested, and the other one is murdered, the coroner gets paid, the funeral home gets paid, the cop get paid, the court counselor get paid, the DA get paid, the court-appointed attorney get paid. So many, the prison get paid, the prison guard get paid. Crime is a function in America. So many people benefit off crime, no different than a lot of people benefit when our children are improperly diagnosed with ADHD and oppositional defiant disorder and these behavior disorders. They get mentors, they get psychologists, psychiatrists, they get therapists, the pharmaceutical. They are profiting, capitalizing off the dysfunction in the black community. And that's just the bottom line.
Yes,
and we have to look up and stop them from doing that.
And my thing is this: a lot of people think that we can vote our way out of it, we can beg our way out of it. We think that if we cry long enough and cry loud enough, that everybody would have sympathy and just hand us something. Let me tell you something. The only people that's going to help us is us. And people, come on. And then that's why I say, like, the older generation, man, they brought that old school begging, let's marching mentality. My thing is, look, man, enough with the marching, man. It's time to organize and take care of your community. All the immigrants that come over here, they take care of their community. They look out for each other. Matter of fact, the guy that owned the sports bar 2 communities down, the guy that in my community, they Greeks. So the guy who owned a sports bar, he plugged his partner. When he got in here, they ain't know each other. But he plugged his partner with a restaurant. Now, dude, they own like 3 of them in our communities. Everybody know that we stupid enough to not shop in our own communities with our own stores. Everybody know it's big dollars in our community. They even know it across overseas. To come in our community, they don't even go to school anymore. They like, man, forget going to school. Let's just go in their community, set up shop, get rich, and never spend a dime. They know that. And
the thing that trips me out, Donald, is this. You don't see them other than at their place of business. I've never seen them shopping. I've never seen them at school. It's almost like they go to the store, sell to us, and fly back home. I've never seen them anywhere. They are so segregated. I never see them anywhere. And it's a situation that makes me mad, and I wish black people would realize, if we're gonna buy ice, milk, cigarettes, blunts, and beer from the convenience store, we should be profiting off that. I mean, it's just a situation, man, it makes me so mad and so angry to see them come over here, set up a store, and then do it from behind the glass, brother. You know what I mean?
Bro,
they come over here, set up a store, and do business with us from behind the glass. It's so disrespectful.
Bro, Let me tell you something. So many businesses, we allow them to come in our community. They don't have to hire from the community. They don't have to shop in the community. They don't live in the community. They don't even pay taxes in our community. They benefit us none. So my thing is this. Why are you shopping there? And they had a fundraiser or something for the kids, a school buyback. Do you know every business in the community was there except for their businesses? None of them showed up. None of them cared. They don't put a dime. Matter of fact, they were protesting outside of a convenience store where he was selling drugs outside the back of it, or allegedly, or whatever. And they were protesting outside, and the owner came out. He said, I love you people, man. I've been here for 10 years. I said, hey, I just watched 30 people walk in here in the last 10 minutes. I said, there's a school down the street. Now, if 30 people, you make about, what, $1,000 a day? He said, yeah. That means you make at least millions out this community a year. There's a school down the street. You willing to invest in that school? Dude flat out told me no. I said, man, there's a Family Dollar across the street. Have you ever shopped there? Do you live in this community? He told me no. I said, man, you got to get up out of here.
And you know the thing about it that makes me so angry and it pisses me off, and I'm going to say this in a jokingly way, but I'm serious. They always got some crackhead local wino watching black folks in their store for them. It's always some guy in there, he give them a bottle of wine and he watching the store, and then we go in the store and they cater to us. They be like, what up, brother? And we be like, yeah, what up, Muhammad? Yo, Muhammad cool. And they got big t-shirts for sale and do-rags and all that stuff. It's like they actually study us. It's like they study what we want. I'm like, how y'all know we want this stuff right now? You know what I mean?
Bro, you walk in the store, bro, they playing hip-hop records in that joint. And you know what? At the end of the day, I'm not even mad at them. If we are stupid enough to spend all our money to someone that won't even hire you, won't live next to you, don't pay taxes in your community, don't even like you, at the end of the day, I'm not even mad at them. Take that money and go. You know what I'm saying? And so, but we don't teach that, bro. And every documentary and everybody that's teaching that is silenced. Everybody that's teaching, oh, we need to beg. We need to go to the mayor, the president. We need to beg for opportunity. And I'm like, yo, why don't you create it yourself? Do for yourself.
You know what, brother? It's emotional attachment theory. We have an emotional attachment to things as black people. I give you a perfect example. Black people are so emotionally attached to hating Donald Trump that we see a Mexican wall as a bad thing. You know, I don't dislike Mexicans. I came to my Facebook popularity over a Mexican house video, and when I say that I think that we should have a wall, people said, but you was crying over a Mexican house. I was like, didn't you see me on the video say that they're not better than us? It's a situation where we have to understand that George Bush, Barack Obama, and George Bush II signed off on this wall. Trump is just trying to bring it to fruition. These Mexicans came over here and undercut blacks. The white man put Spanish on the side of the rice box and everything for them. And what happened is after 25 years, they realized black men were building a house. 20 black men were taking a month to build a house, and we were getting paid $50,000 to do it. Where 30 Mexicans can build it in a week and only pay them $10,000. So that was going good for a minute, but now they've looked up and realized Mexicans make that $10,000 and send $9,500 back to Mexico, back to Honduras, back to Argentina. Whereas black people take what we make and spend it all that weekend. So that's why they want them out now. So when Donald Trump says make America great again, he's simply saying we want America to be easy street for white folks and black folks doing all the manual labor. Other than that, no foreigners.
Right. And my thing is, yeah, hey, I'm all for the wall. Man, why not? Why would you not? And so, yeah, we so set on hating Trump, and for what? You know what I'm saying? And for what? And that way we just set on that. And from what everybody's saying. But see, until we realize, and just like that lady tried to tell me, do you know what they did to us 100 years ago? No, I mean, I know. But at this point, it ain't going to help our situation to constantly cry about what happened to us 100 years ago. We don't even teach our children how to start a business. We don't know nothing about stocks and bonds. We don't know nothing about life insurance and real estate. Stuff that we should teach our children first. And everybody else's children is learning about future. Now everybody else is learning about education, stocks and bonds, but we know nothing and we are not teaching it. And so at the end of the day, I'm about to go ahead and end this show. At the end of the day, my thing is on this show, what I want to bring is solutions to the problems in our communities. And one of the biggest solutions is to unify, to group economics, to spend your money in your community so your children don't have to rob each other, kill each other. Because once there's one killing, if you buy a house in the community and there's a killing down the street, if you buy it for $100,000, as soon as somebody get killed, your house is worth $80,000. Now you just lost $20,000, $30,000 equity. Now nobody wants to open up businesses. Anyway, my thing is this. If we want it, we're going to have to. We can't beg nobody. I'm going to bring you guys my motto right here.
How long are you going to cry and blame your oppressor before you get up off your knees and do it your goddamn self?
Absolutely. Before you get up off your knees and do it yourself. Any words you want to say, bro?
Man, I just want to say I appreciate you, man, for continuing to do what you do and have me on your show, man. There's not a lot of brothers who are concerned daily about these issues, and we, both you and I, know that we have a heart for our people, and we could be a lot more popular if we were analyzing sports videos and Beyonce videos and breaking down the Illuminati and stuff. We are seen as the assholes. You know, people get tired of us, man. So I just want to encourage you, man, and say keep doing what you're doing, brother. Keep doing what you're doing, man. We are going to rise to the top very soon.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate you coming on, no doubt. Peace. Make sure you guys like, subscribe. Let me know what you think about this video. Peace.